These last two anime seasons have given us much binge-worthy anime, like Frieren, Jujutsu Kaisen, Jobless Reincarnation, Reincarnated as a Slime, Kaiju Number 8, Windbreaker, and many, many more. Among all these popular names, there was an anime that stood out the most. The reason was, this anime had everything. A good story with great animations, fast pacing, strong and pretty characters, and lots of action. It was hyped since the moment its airing date was officially announced. Manga readers were so excited that reels and TikToks of this manhwa were already reaching anime-only people. If you haven't guessed already, we're talking about the anime whose dub artist got threats for saying the word arise properly. Though he matched the vibe, and threatened back by saying that if fans don't lower their tone in front of him, he would replace the word arise with words like get up or stand up or erect. We're talking about Solo Leveling, a banger among the Korean mangas with a huge fan base. Even the fan animations were so fire that everybody was hyped for the real deal to air. The first episode of Solo Leveling aired on the 7th of January and went on till March 31st. The 12 episodes of the season were all amazing. Everything that fans wanted was delivered, and hence it got a high 8.31 rating on MAL. The main character of the story is Sung Jin-woo, and unlike some other anime, the author isn't gay for some villain so much that he turns his best work into garbage. Sung Jin-woo gets proper character development, and he doesn't come across as a villain that always brings out some trashy moves that he didn't use since the Heian era. No offense to Jujutsu Kaisen fans, but every anime has an overpowered villain. But you shouldn't forget who the main character is and ruin the story just so you could write the same Heian era dialogue and the same moves for over 50 chapters. Unless you want to turn your main protagonist into the main antagonist. Eren was still the best guy around. Back to Solo Leveling, let us give you the synopsis. Some weird portals started opening around the world, and these portals bestowed superhuman abilities among people. The people who enter the gates and clear the dungeons are called hunters. Clearing dungeons is a legal profession in this world. Among these hunters, there's an E-rank hunter named Sung Jin-woo. By the way, E-rank is the lowest rank anyone can get. Sung Jin-woo even got nicknamed as the weakest hunter of all mankind. Bro was literally pathetic at this job, but it's not like he was unaware of that. Sung Jin-woo knows that he's weak and is not suited for this dangerous job. He doesn't like being a burden on others, and thankfully, he doesn't keep crying about his weaknesses like some main characters of anime that is said to have the worst fandom of all time. Yeah, he's not like Deku, who starts crying even when Bakugo doesn't look at him, or a drop of water hits his face, or if All Might forgets to change his diapers. Sung Jin-woo has no other option than to be a hunter, because it pays more than other jobs. He needs money for something more important than a PS5, his mother's hospital bills. His father went out to get milk and never returned. He was a hunter as well, but went missing in some dungeon. Sung Jin-woo's mother took care of the family while hoping that her husband would return alive. Unfortunately, Jin-woo's mother catches the eternal sleep disease that has left her in a state of coma for almost 4 years. No one's yet found a cure for this disease, but hoping that they do someday, Sung Jin-woo has been paying her bills by risking his own life. He has a sister named Sung Jin-ah. Before we talk about her, let's pay respect to the author for not making this sibling relationship weird, as most of the authors seem to have a cringe understanding of this relationship. Jin-ah's not only pretty, but also cheery, playful, and a diligent girl. She cares a lot about her brother, and she knows about his hardships, and Jin-woo's been the one to raise her since the author cut off the father right from the start, and even sent mama to sleep. Knowing how hard Jin-woo works for the family, she does her best to study hard and is a topper at school. She gets worried whenever Jin-woo heads out for a raid, so she even prepares to drop out of school and get a job so Jin-woo doesn't have to take on any dangerous jobs anymore. Park Kyung-hee, Jin-woo's mother, is still in a coma by the end of the first season, and it would take some time for anime watchers to find out whether she wakes up or disconnects from the server. Jin-woo's father, named Sung-hwan, is still out of the picture, and to know what happened to him, anime watchers will have to wait some time. Or they might get spoiled soon thanks to the manga readers. Before you start reading the manga, there's a registration form that makes you promise that wherever you go, you will drop spoilers. Whether it be the YouTube or Instagram comments or the wall of a public bathroom, manga readers will find any way to ruin the experience for others. Even if they don't, they would surely arise and drop the comments saying manga readers know. There's also Cha Hee, who appears in the first episode and makes the fandom go crazy. A strong and attractive hunter. Not just any hunter, but a S-rank hunter. She wasn't seen again in the first season, but she is an important character. That's the least we can share about her. Yoo Jin-ho is another important character because of his experience with Sung Jin-woo in the dungeon. Jin-ho sees Jin-woo as his older brother. And that should be enough for you to know right now, unless somebody starts yapping about all the spoilers. Another important character of this first season is Lee Joo-hee. as she often accompanied Jin-woo during the raids and would care for him a lot. Many anime watchers shipped them together, but Lee Joo-hee decided to retire as a hunter, so that created some distance. Now that all the important characters have been introduced, let's talk about the animation, because A1 Pictures are doing an excellent job in living up to the expectations. Just so you know, Your Lie in April, Sword Art Online, Kaguya-sama, Fate Series, Erased, and 86 are all animated by A1 Pictures. These names are enough to tell us that Solo Leveling is in safe hands. The fights in the first season are amazing so far, and obviously things are going to get intense in the future, so A1's gotta bring their A game. If they maintain this level of animation, or even surpass it, Solo Leveling has some scenes with a tendency to break the internet, just like Ufotable did with Uzui vs Upper Moon 6. The best thing about Solo Leveling is how the story moves at perfect pacing. It's not fast enough to make it difficult for viewers to understand. Neither is it like those anime that have 1% story and 99% fillers. We might have heard some fan bases with that statement, but it's just true. Anime lovers with a job or a life don't have enough time for a story that has so many extra episodes. Those extras might be 10 out of 10, but if they aren't relevant to the story, they shouldn't be there. Attack on Titan is perfect in this scenario, and once Solo Leveling is completed, it will be as well. Watching 20-minute episodes of Solo Leveling is like watching a 5-minute episode, because that's how quickly it passes. That alone is enough evidence to back up their pacing. If you like stories with a weak main character that slowly levels up by doing different quests, then worry not, because there are many thousands of such stories. The question is, what makes Solo Leveling different from those stories? First of all, the fight scenes are amazing. Secondly, the author had a clear picture in his mind of where to take this story. Thirdly, the main character is goated. The reason I say that is because most of the authors mess up with their own protagonists. They either make him a crybaby or a pervert, or just a random guy with plot armor. For example, Tanjiro from Demon Slayer has one distinguishable attribute, that he has a pure heart. On the other hand, Itadori should have easily topped Tanjiro with his potential, but so far, he's just a pink-haired guy with a quick-learning brain. Even if you don't want a super complicated, complex character like Eren, Kaneki, or Light, you should know how your protagonist fits in your own story. Sung Jin-woo is the main character of this story, so you're gonna see him the most. He was not the special one, but since he chose to sacrifice himself, he got an opportunity to become the special one. He not only seized the opportunity, but owned it totally. The story will make sense in every chapter. It's not like the final season of Sword Art Online, where the protagonist remains in a coma for 19 episodes. Come on, bro, he was a good friend, but even Deku can cope better than you. The author nerfed Kirito in the lamest way. Thankfully, Solo Leveling has no such tragedy. It's like the perfect version of a leveling up action-adventure story. It has everything that you would expect from the genre. If there's one thing that could have been done better in this story, it's the love story. Many fans believe that the love story should have been given more screen time, but the author compensated it with breathtaking fights. He believes in why love when you can fight. However, that makes the few scenes we have even more precious. A small tip for the people who have bared with us till the end of the video, try to read the manhwa. The reason I say this is because Solo Leveling is going to get more popular with the next season, and more popularity means more people telling spoilers to deal with. Even if you read the manhwa, you're still going to love the anime. You might even become more excited about the anime because you won't be able to wait for what's coming. If some of our comments didn't sit well with you, then we apologize. As a token of our apology, let us recommend to you Ayoashi that is criminally underrated despite being so good. If you love football, then this would be a great anime to recover from the boring harem ball of Southgate's England and Euros. We might make a video on it soon.